Hi, everyone. My name is Cassandra Valentine, editor of DPS Magazine. Welcome to today's webinar, which will focus on direct mail trends. Thank you to our sponsor, Direct Mail 2.0. Like everything else in this print industry, direct mail continues to evolve. While challenges like postal increases are real, the physical connection is uncontested with the ability to break through digital fatigue. Today, we'll discuss the value of direct mail, physical to digital technologies, and opportunities for personalization considerations, and how to take advantage of postal discounts. We're going to start with introductions. First, we have Morgan with Direct Mail 2.0.
Thank you, Cassandra. I'm excited for the webinar today and this stellar panel that you put together. I'm Morgan DeGiorgio, Senior Vice President, Sales and Marketing for Direct Mail 2.0. And at our organization, our goal is to make direct mail the most effective form of marketing by integrating it with cutting-edge technology. Currently, we have a 13 technology marketing automation platform with real-time reporting dashboard that integrates into direct mail campaigns to track, show attribution, and lift the response rate of mail about 23 to 46% for just pennies per mail piece. We're known for having one of the most comprehensive solutions for omni-channel enhanced mail campaigns. And mail providers white label our platform to add value to their clients' direct mail campaigns while taking advantage of a unique selling proposition. Our offering is something that they can provide that's above and beyond just putting ink on paper. And, you mentioned postage increases, and several of our technologies also qualify for postage discounts. So in addition to lifting response rates, mailers can cut on postage costs as well. So we're constantly evolving and finding new ways to improve direct mail campaigns and help printers grow. Actually, we're on the cusp of adding our 14th technology to our platform. So I think some of our partners are on the webinar today, and there will be a very exciting announcement coming soon from our end. But happy to be a part of the panel today and hoping we can add some value for our attendees with some educational information.
Thank you, Morgan. Next up, we have Thomas with Locur. I don't know if I said that right, so you'll have to.
Hi, Cassandra. Thank you for having me on this panel. I'm the guy from overseas. My name's Thomas. I'm with Locur Geoservices and Maps in Germany. And we have to say good evening because it's right about 8 p.m. over here. Locur, some of you may know us as one of the leading providers for geomarketing solutions. Internationally, we work with a lot of partners, print service providers, advertising companies from a very wide range of industries. Our main offering to the customers is geolocated personalization, geo information added out of a postal address to a mail piece. This can be just some distance or assignment information, but this also can be a very, very informative and highly personalized map in a printed mail piece or in a cross-media campaign. Lots of customers receiving such emails, direct mail pieces, including maps, are very, very enthusiastic and encouraged to see storefront locations. And all our maps we produce are unique for the special customer. I'm happy to be part of this webinar and panel this evening, and I hope we have a good discussion. And back to you, Cassandra.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Next up, we have Adam with Gray Hair Software.
Thanks. So Gray Hair Software started as a firm focused on the tracking technology, tracking all the mail through the USPS. It has really expanded over the years to utilize not only the tracking information, but also then the address quality information to really leverage it to coordinate the marketing efforts, make sure everything's going well, but especially now to coordinate additional direct mail offerings through email and through phone, make sure everything is coordinated. Within Gray Hair, my current title is Director of Address Intelligence. I actually started in this industry as a developer of the address quality software solutions. But for the past roughly 2 decades, my focus has been both on the mailing and business needs associated with addresses and how to meet those needs using the tools and data that's made available through the USPS. So that has meant spending a lot of time deep in the weeds with mailers, businesses, the USPS, and the available tools and data. As a result, I was elected and currently serve as the MTAC Industry Focus Area Leader for Data, Technology, and Addressing. I like to kind of describe myself as an addressing mechanic. You know, the mechanic not only knows all the components and how they work together, but how to really use those tools to diagnose issues and to really fine tune everything for optimal performance. So that's my primary role now with Gray Hair and in the industry.
Thank you, Adam. And next up, we have Kevin with Quadient.
All right. And hey, Cassandra, and thank you so much for the opportunity to join you and this distinguished panel here today. My name is Kevin O'Connor, Vice President of Channel Marketing and Planning in the Mail-Related Solutions Division of Quadient. And really with our goal of trying to help, our clients automate mail processes, bring a level of integrity and transparency to all things they do with their mailing operations. And even, go so far as to help our clients, find ways to digitize their mail processes and, communicate with clients the way that clients want to be communicated with. I've been in this mailing, industry, providing products and services to clients for over 25 years. And, certainly we've seen a lot of trends and evolutions over those times. Certainly I'd say too, mail volumes have declined. And, how many times have all of us on the call here today been told that mail is going away and it's going to evaporate and we should all find other jobs or other tasks in other industries. And I'd say, nothing could be further from the truth. You look at the USPS mail volumes, it's still in the billions, if not tens of billions of mail pieces every year. Give me a job in any industry where you have an opportunity to make an impact on anything that starts with a B, i.e. billions. So we have great opportunities here, not only now, but in the future, to really help clients, optimize their mail operations for the best return, for their organizations. I think what's most notable nowadays in terms of trends, is how mail can play such a vital role in helping companies achieve their objectives, whether it's, growing revenues, cutting costs, managing, compliance or other types of, risk mitigations, or just driving customer engagement. And nowadays, organizations of all sizes can really benefit from a lot of the technologies out there. And I, look forward to this conversation to help others, really understand some of those technologies and opportunities available. So thank you again for the opportunity to be here today.
Thanks, Kevin. And finally, we have David Yost with InfoSeal.
Thank you, Cassandra, for the invitation to join this panel. I'm excited about it as well. I'm David Yost. I'm the general manager of InfoSeal, which is a division of Ennis. We're located in Roanoke, Virginia, which is in the central part of the eastern United States. I've been leading production of self-mailers for over 37 years, and I've seen most of the major changes that have occurred over the last long time. InfoSeal was a startup organization in 2001. Today, we've grown to be one of the largest producers of self-mailers in the world, producing approximately 20 million pressure seal documents every single week. We ship to every state in the United States, as well as internationally. We ship to direct mailers there as well. We've been working for the last several years with the major OEMs to make sure our products are compatible with their equipment. That includes continuous fed inkjet, sheet fed inkjet, and then the traditional laser sheet fed and roll fed applications. We also make sure our products are compatible with offset presses, but our focus really has been on the inkjet market for the last half a dozen years. What's really set us apart from other suppliers is our creative approach to product development. Customers come to us with a need, and it's often something that's never been designed or developed before. And we look forward to embracing that concept and coming out with a new solution or a new product that's never been made. That has allowed us to play very well into the white paper world of the inkjet world by having a blank document front and back that they can use for many different applications. The only thing that's printed is the glue and the perforations. I really enjoy the world of product development, which has transitioned InfoSeal from being just a normal self-mailer producer to one of unique constructions for all direct mailers. So back to you, Cassandra.
All right. Thank you, David. So thank you everybody for joining us. This should be a really great panel. I do want to point out that the July-August issue of DPS has an article on direct mail trends, and we'll have a web series that goes with it, and everybody on the panel was able to contribute to it. So I will call back to that every once in a while, and that should be up on our website probably next week. So first, Morgan, when we interviewed you for that article that I was just mentioned, we were talking about direct mail marketing channels and how they're showing the highest return on investment compared to other channels. Can you take a few minutes to expand on this? Has it changed in the past several years, or has it always just had a higher return than other channels?
Sure. So currently, in the recent time space, we've been experiencing higher than ever response rates to the direct mail marketing channel. And the ANA, who is an industry-leading source of market research, they release a report every year, and it provides an analysis of metrics across direct media channels like direct mail, SMS, email, paid search, digital media. And the 2022 report showed direct mail to have the highest ROI of all of those channels at 112%. And that was actually consistent with their year prior, their 2021 report. And, for your question, has this changed and has this always been the case? The direct mail marketing channel has had its ups and downs historically. After the digital marketing boom, mail did suffer, but then it slowly started inching back into play. And around 2015, direct mail was really found to have had a major comeback. And it was the DMA that reported that mail was around 7 times more effective than all digital channels. And ROI was actually beating out all digital channels except for email at the time. Now, this was groundbreaking, but unfortunately, usage of the channel was still trending down. But it wasn't long before people started to have more and more of an aversion to a full email inbox. I mean, like today, when I check my email in the morning, I'm delete. I never see the marketing message on the email that I deleted. And marketers also started to realize that, they could take advantage of a next to empty mailbox to get their message on Front Street. When I go out to my mailbox and I look through my mail, even if I discard that mail piece or don't take action, I still got the impression. I received the marketing message. And with the high brand recall on mail, when this message is repeated, we can improve the response rate. And that speaks a lot to what we do here at Direct Mail 2.0. Anyway, from there, there began to be an insurgence of technologies that integrated into mail campaigns to make them more effective and track response. And that, coupled with the onset of digital fatigue, and mail was in a full comeback. Now, speaking of technologies, in 2017, USPS launched a heavy rollout of their informed delivery technology. They actually had started it in 2014 with like some beta testing groups, but they engaged in a full launch in 2017. And we have built an entire business around the utilization of technologies like informed delivery and QR codes and digital media that's repeating messages on the mail piece, and even some of our proprietary tech like Lead Match to improve the response to mail campaigns and show attribution. And mail has just continued to grow in its effectiveness, response, and ROI to what we're seeing today. And it's an extremely powerful tool. And it really has been remarkable to have the opportunity to educate others on its ability and provide solutions to enhance its effectiveness.
Thank you, Morgan. That was great. We're speaking of the other methods and delivery channels. Part of the draw of print is its ability to connect to those virtual worlds by directing recipients to websites. Kevin, I'm wondering if you can share some of the top trends you're seeing around this and what is driving them.
Yeah, absolutely, Cassandra. Thank you. And honestly, my answer to that question is going to really leverage all the great points that Morgan just brought up. Great data points and great talking points. I'd say for all of us, there's probably no doubt that the single most important tool an organization can have as it interacts with customers and prospects as a website, right? In this day and age of our needs and wants to have instant access to everything, a website is the most effective tool to provide our targets opportunities to shop, view account information, contact customer support, make payments, whatever it is. We want the ability to do things quickly and in our time and our busy lives, right? So the industry trends, no matter what the industry is, to really leverage a website to create a very seamless experience for our customers or users and a very cost-effective manner for the providers, right? Some of the people on here who are actually sending out these mailings and managing these websites. You think about today's website technology and the artificial intelligence, it really can and does make that possible for pretty much every organization, small, medium, large, no matter what the industry. But, and the point that Morgan brought up, which I love, is you think about there's millions of websites out there, millions of online impressions, many that we see as individuals and consumers every day. With all those impressions, it's really hard to create that personalized interaction, that many of us want to have as we deal with the organizations that we engage with. Think about how many emails, how many texts, how many online impressions we see every day, too many to sort through. Then you think about, the 5 to 7 mail pieces we get every day. We may not pay attention to all of them, but you get that impression, right? And you get that quick impression as you walk back from mailbox, looking at those 5 pieces, and you might pick out, 1, 2, or 5, or all of them, right? To really take a deeper look. And I'll take those odds any day, right? 1 out of 5 versus 1 out of, 500,000, right? So, and it's pointed out, by Morgan as well, you think about the return on investment. Still the direct mail piece is by far the most powerful and effective communication tool that an organization can use to really personalize a message and deliver an impactful call to action, right? So with a great CRM database, direct mailers can really personalize a mail correspondence and leverage the website to really, fulfill the call to action. Just the other day, I received a mail piece in the mail that piqued my attention. And within an hour, when I got a free moment, went to the website, did my order. It was a company that just had a really nice targeted message, a great offer, went to the website, did my order. Within minutes, I had my email confirmation, my text confirmation, and then shortly thereafter, had all the information by email about, when the shipment should arrive, right? So think about the companies that do that very well. And we all have similar experiences like this, but the companies that do that very, very well are the ones that we become very, very loyal to, right? You think about the power of mail, in that customer value chain. So it's very, very critical for us to have true integrated communication plans that include direct mail and include websites that support the activities and offers that we read about through mail.
Thank you, Kevin. My next question goes to Thomas. What other methods are available to help add value to a printed mail piece and based on your experience?
Well, there are several. Lots were already mentioned by Morgan and by Kevin, but especially what Locker concentrates on is helping customers with their direct mail to add valuable content as a key factor to a mail piece, which means personalization not only by address and starting an email, a mail piece text with saying hi Cassandra or hi Kevin or whoever receives such a mail piece, but also specially uses or implements the advertising companies' locations. So far, they have storefront locations to use the power of these locations to show that stores are right next door and everybody can go to and feel, see, learn about the product, about a service this company offers. So with personalized mapping, you offer eye-catching personalization elements to a mail piece that shows routing, how to get somewhere, or that shows location of stores, service centers, service locations around you. Customers recognizing that their location is on there and what they see is their own familiar neighborhood on this mail piece map, and we're talking about maps, but basically this is wrong. We should better talk about information graphics we put here. And for everybody, a map is easy to understand, and with some bits and pieces and small algorithms, everything can be assembled from the customer's, starting from the customer's address, assigning a destination location, one or multiple locations, and show this to the customer. And lots of wonderful projects we already produced. For example, like this one for a car dealership, with a routing map from the recipient's address to the next car dealer location. We really made a lot of good responses, or we got a lot of good responses from our partners, where we really helped them increasing the response rate of their mailing campaigns. So, for example, we had a mailing campaign in the UK, and they did an A/B test saying, hey, we want to know what's a classic mailer we do compared to a mailer that includes the power of location. And they found out that the part they sent out with geo-marketing information was about 63% more effective in response than their classic mailer they already did for years. So there's a lot of ideas that can be found with the help of geo-marketing and geo-information. I think this is one of the most interesting and worth trying ideas and methods that are available for print and direct mail.
Thank you, Thomas. One of the biggest ways to add value is through personalization, as we've discussed. However, the old phrase junk in, junk out comes to mind. Adam, do you want to speak to the importance of address hygiene and maybe discuss ways in which print providers can ensure that they're utilizing the best data to drive these high value campaigns?
Absolutely. I'm going to key on something Thomas said. It starts with the address, and address hygiene is important to maximize the ROI of a campaign. You want to get your message delivered at the lowest cost, but the greatest offer in the world is no good if it doesn't get delivered. So you have to use address hygiene to qualify for the lowest postage rates. Unfortunately, for far too many, that is where the use of address hygiene ends. And yet really making use of address hygiene is vital to the success rate of direct mail campaigns, and print providers can really help. To quickly scope the opportunity first, just to give you an idea, the USPS reports that they do not deliver nearly 5% of all marketing mail. But that number is actually misleadingly low, because if a mailer doesn't request that information on deliverable mail for direct mail, the carrier is allowed to simply dispose of those pieces in the nearest garbage can, and it doesn't go back to USPS and doesn't get counted. When the mailing industry really has taken a look at this to see what's the true undeliverable rate of direct mail campaigns, overall through the industry, it's 8 to 10%. If you were doing a marketing campaign to certain segments like a small or medium business, that number is even higher. But there's good news as well. Mailers have identified those that have really maximized the use of their address hygiene process and use all of the available data. Their undeliverable rate is below 2%. So if more gets delivered, more is able to be responded to. And towards that goal, I mean, there's a lot that print providers can do, but the very first thing is to support running these address hygiene tools, not just for their mailers, but running it as close as possible to the time of mailing to make sure that the very latest information is used. Interestingly, the actual USPS qualification for discounts actually will allow literally months to have passed between when the address hygiene run was done and the actual mailing. But to give you an example, just for one issue that affects the deliverability of mail, especially with direct mail campaigns, For every month that passes between when the address hygiene was run and the actual mailing, an additional 1 out of every 100 pieces will become undeliverable as addressed and most likely end up in a trash can with nobody ever even seeing the offer.
Thank you, Adam. In addition to what's printed on a direct mail piece, there are many ways to reduce costs and add value on the mailer itself. David, can you discuss what ways in which processes and equipment are helping print and mail providers be more productive with reduced staff?
Thank you, Cassandra. Absolutely. There's no doubt there's a labor shortage in America, and it's severe. In fact, we expect to continue. But there's something that's often not discussed, and that's beyond the labor shortage. The skills that the people have that are willing to become part of our team are often less than desired. And we need to find ways to utilize the people that we are able to have on our team to get out the mail. Processing the pressure processing the mail every single day, not to mention growing our business, is a significant challenge. Therefore, we have to think differently. We have to try new concepts, which is what this panel is sharing, as well as new approaches. That's where PressureSeal has been very successful. Our growth here at InfoSeal is primarily not from traditional people who are using self-mailers today. Rather, it's from people who are running inserters and needed to try something different to get out mail, and they found PressureSeal was a very effective solution for them. Our solution requires two different components. First, it requires a form, and then it requires equipment. And that's where the efficiency comes together, is by bringing those two components together. We run roll products, and I'm just going to describe one example of many that are possible. We describe roll products, provide roll products to a mailer. It's going to be blank white paper. They're going to run it through their inkjet press. The beauty of that, first of all, is it's going to run at full speed. So there's no slowdowns by buying pre-finished forms that already have glue and perfs on them with a timing mark. The products themselves are going to be completely blank, which play well in the blank white paper environment. Most of our successful clients are pre-buying in advance specific number of SKUs, 1, 2, or 3 different SKUs that they'll keep in inventory, and they'll use those same SKUs for many different clients. That will allow them to do quick inventories, have very low amounts of inventory because it's a low amount of products they're offering, and virtually zero obsolescence because they use it for all sorts of different packages. That takes us to the equipment side. Most clients, when they run our products, run their inkjet equipment roll to roll and then take it near line to finish the product. That near line typically consists of a roll-on wind, a rotary cutter, a floor model folder, and a sealer or a presser, followed by a conveyor. And here's where the beauty comes in. That equipment is able to run 2 wide at speeds of 500 feet per minute, which yields approximately 80,000 documents every single hour. They're able to run from unwind imaged mail to mail trays in one operation. That eliminates not only the envelope, but here's where the beauty is. It also eliminates the human element of feeding the envelopes, both the outgoing and the reply envelopes, into the inserter. In one roll, we're able to process approximately 60,000 mail pieces without stopping. Therefore, a small staff is able to process large quantities of mail very efficiently. To see some of that equipment, you could go to our website, infoseal.com, look under equipment for a PS800. But it's not just our equipment. There's other solutions out there as well. And the trick is processing this mail that is pre-made with glue and with perforations through a 2-wide folder at 500 feet per minute. It has a very small footprint and is compatible with direct mail. Many people already own a floor model folder. And so by purchasing from us or from someone else, they're able to roll up a sealer on the back end of that folder, which provides a very cost-effective solution for getting out this mail at high speeds. There's a secondary advantage by working with rolls with the self-mailers, and that is it has very low spoilage. Therefore, because of that low spoilage, rolls are able to be controlled and the pieces are able to be kept in order. This allows the mailer to pre-sort the mail down to the lowest postage. This is often a lower rate than commingling and can provide additional opportunities for the mailer to pick up margin and win work. it takes us to another advantage to this type of product, and that is the ease of operation. When you're hiring these new people with low skills, it needs to be easy. And running a folder and taking off a conveyor are very simple tasks to train. And so with relatively quick training for new employees, it's possible to process mail at extremely high speeds. And that is important when you're unable to find the necessary staff that you're looking to grow your business. So I believe self-mailers are a real solution to helping with staffing issues in America. Cassandra?
Thank you, David. All right, so we've discussed many of the opportunities for direct mail and the value of it, but in reality, postage rates continue to go up, which puts pressure on mailers to cut down on how often they mail, the manner in which they mail, or move to alternative channels. So Thomas, in your opinion, how are mailers and printers working to add value to what they do send?
So lots of mailers and also the companies they produce direct mail for are looking really more and more into the customer's data to create efficient direct mail and also create sustainable campaigns, which, for example, means when you use geofencing in an email, you reduce the number of mail pieces, of course, which printers usually don't like. But results from such prints show that the companies doing these direct mail campaigns that are where suppression is added, the recipients are more and more directed and more close to the storefront locations in an email. And all we can say is give the advice to these companies, use more and more geo information to help to engage customers, benefit and customer satisfaction. Print mailings easily also can be combined with ideas like cross-media elements, where you, for example, use a QR code linking to an online content, linking to a store, online store location, or providing other interesting experiences like AI or whatever. And for example, a QR code can also be used to transport routing information. Just click a QR code that has routing information, and it will show the routing to a store location on your phone. So we have combined both worlds, the printed world and the digital world, on the smartphone. So print can start a lot of conversation between the printed piece and the recipient and other media, which is very, very interesting and very, very effective for all companies to make use of that.
Thank you, Thomas. Morgan, can you speak to how printers and mailers can leverage the value of direct mail by showing attribution to ensure customers don't seek other channels?
Absolutely. The first thing that I always like to suggest is to provide a matchback report. A lot of customers have a challenging time actually tracking the response to their mail campaigns effectively. So, just in a general way, I like to ask for a list of all leads and converted business that came into the organization and suppress that against the mail file to actually show the true attribution to the mail. Now, there are challenges with that, though. Sometimes customers aren't willing to provide that data. And additionally, it is lacking in tracking that initial response to the mail. But there are technologies that can help with that, like QR codes or call and text tracking, which we use. And also, USPS provides the matchback report to the list for informed delivery, where you can get the data of who received the informed delivery email, opened it, and clicked on the informed delivery ad, which is actually showing attribution to the digital impression of the mail piece. But the most important tool that we have been using and the printers who partner with us is our lead match technology. People respond to mail, like you've heard on this webinar today. The way that they respond to any marketing channel, including mail, is by going to the website. Now, with digital marketing, there's tracking codes. They're called UTMs that allow marketers to actually track the response of digital marketing channels to the website through their Google Analytics. But with mail, when someone is, standing in their living room and they're looking at a mail piece and they go online to the website, unless they convert, buy something, fill out a form, historically there hasn't been a way to track that. But with our lead match technology, we have the ability to do that. We first identify a website visitor. We provide their address information. We instantly suppress that against the mail file so that we can show the number of responses to the website, that initial conversion, just like we can show for digital marketing to the website from the mail, and who they are. Now, this has been imperative at keeping mail as a contender in the ring, because without the use of technology like this, typically it's just not getting the credit that it truly deserves, especially when marketers are utilizing multiple marketing channels to drive traffic to their website. So unless you're truly isolating that to a Pearl or a landing page, it can become very challenging to show that attribution to the mail. And, one campaign in particular that's a perfect example of this, we had a campaign. It was a smaller campaign, but it was really profound in proving this point, because it was 5,000 pieces. And in our dashboard, we saw that the client had 19 calls. Nothing truly earth-shattering about 19 calls or that response, but the lead match showed that 979 mail recipients went to the website and responded, and that is a 19%, a little higher than 19% response rate to the mail, which is astronomical. And without that data, the client probably wouldn't have believed in the efficacy of mail, and potentially sought other channels to continue with their marketing. So, and there's other technologies out there too. There's technologies that integrate into the CRMs. They actually match back to leads that come into the CRMs. But, there's a lot of technology out there that we can be utilizing to show that true attribution to the mail. We know that the mail works, and now we have the ability to leverage technology to prove it.
Thank you, Morgan. When we wrote this article for the July issue, we felt a lot of pushback about postage not actually being the biggest challenge. Kevin, do you feel that postage rate increases are actually the biggest challenge facing mailers today, or are there other challenges like clean lists and accurate lists that come into play here?
Yeah, thanks, Cassandra. Great two-part question. I'll address the first one right up front. I would say absolutely not. When I say, are the postal rate increases the biggest challenge? If you think about it, the cost of the first class stamp has risen 17 cents in the last 10 years, right? 17 cents in 10 years. Somebody could debate that's a 35% increase, but when you look at it, it's really a 3% per annual increase. And most companies are, passing along, 2, 3, 4, 5% increases, in price and revenues to their customers. So I would say it's not the biggest challenge. As we've talked about a little bit already in this session, is, very, high effective mail pieces can really, drive high response rates. And I really think there's other ways that, mailers can find ways to, optimize their returns and manage their costs well above and beyond, the postage rate increases we get annually from the USPS. I think the three biggest challenges facing mailers today, one is really, how to build and maintain the proper CRM database, which includes, address hygiene and address cleanups, and includes information about, the types of behaviors and activities of your clients. You can communicate them in the most effective manner, right? That's number one. I would say how to use analytics and tools to really create meaningful contact strategies. Number two is how do you take that data base and data analytics that you have to really create meaningful contact strategies, hopefully leveraging both direct mail and web technology, as we commented on earlier. And three is really, looking at all of the printing and mailing technologies offered today to really deliver impactful mail pieces that yield the highest response rates at the most optimal return rate on investment, right? So those are sort of the three things that I think should be forefront of the minds of all people who, leverage direct mail the right way. I still chuckle. I have a national organization, to remain nameless, who still refers to me as my two nicknames from high school, resident and current owner. It still amazes me how many companies really don't look at their CRM systems and how a good CRM system and having good contact and address information is critical to optimizing and maximizing their return on investments in the mail. So I really think it's critical for companies to look inside their CRM systems and their strategies to leverage those and clean those up and really drive good mail processes. So again, I think there are many mailing technologies out there, very affordable. A lot of the companies are bringing the technologies down market so that smaller volume mailers can really take advantage of a lot of these mail creation and mail finishing technologies to really deliver impactful results for the organization. So I do think there's a lot more opportunities really on the on the opportunity side, not on the cost side, that can really help companies optimize their mail processes and really drive a higher return on investment.
Thank you, Kevin. Next, Adam, how can print and mail providers leverage postal data to make future campaigns more successful?
Good question. It actually ties in with some of the things Morgan has talked about as well. And I'm going to say kind of two main things. First off, everybody's focused on price. So print providers are doing everything they can to save the mailers cost by making sure the pieces qualify for full service and get the discounts. Well, because of that, what I want to encourage and support is to have all the print vendors really get their clients to activate and utilize the USPS's full service ACS program. This is the program that will have the USPS actually provide feedback as to what pieces ended up being undeliverable and why. So right off the bat, you can leverage that data to go back to, all right, I did this direct mail campaign and I pulled lists from 5 different vendors. And from those 5 vendors list sources, I have, like 3 categories underneath each one. And I can look and see, who's giving me good quality names and addresses? Which ones are getting me the highest deliverability rates? Right off the bat, that should tell me who I'm getting the most responses from. If you can actually tie in response rates as well, then you can really make smarter decisions about what's really going on. The second part is then working to understand that there are a lot of address characteristics that the USPS makes available, and you can use that to determine how is this actually impacting mail deliverability and ultimately impacting response rates for a particular campaign. So you can kind of decide, I did this with a client recently. They have sources coming from 6 main locations. They divided it into 30 subgroups, and we were looking initially at how much was not getting delivered. And they were able to give me response rate data as well. And so we were able to tie that in and really identify, okay, here are characteristics that has low deliverability and low to no response rates. These are ones we want to, these are records we want to stop sending. This is a characteristics we want to kind of eliminate. But the positive on the same side, opposite side of that, we identified some characteristics that not only had, good quality deliverability rates, but had well above average response rates. So now they're able to go, wait a minute, these are the type of records we want more of. So in the future, when I'm requesting records or I'm deciding which records to include in the campaign, these are the ones that I want to utilize first. I can make these smarter decisions. As I can tell you for a fact, there are literally millions of addresses out there that qualify for postage discounts. And yet, based on their characteristics, 25%, 35%, and in some cases, even over 40% end up being undeliverable. Those are just wasted mail pieces. And like I said, sometimes the best action is not simply to suppress or replace those records. Sometimes the best answer for a mailer is to modify the record, or specifically what goes on the mail piece, to facilitate deliverability of that piece and ultimately generate, the best results coming out of that campaign. So great question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. And David, can you talk about value-added features that help direct mailers generate attention? Maybe things like affix integrated cards and specialty die cuts. Do you see clients taking advantage of these solutions to improve ROI?
Absolutely, Cassandra. As the team has already commented, response rates are king in the world of direct mail. And I believe many of the things that you've heard make a difference in the response rates, but the product itself also makes a difference in the response rate that's going to be made. Consumers regularly recognize Pressure Seal as a item they must open. They associate it with a check or a bill, and the instant advantage for the marketing person or for the mailer themselves is that the piece gets opened. And that's a significant event that happens once that piece gets opened. We hear from our clients regularly that Pressure Seal has outperformed other packages they've compared against. And self-mailers, occasionally a mailer will leave a self-mailer product, but when they come back, and they invariably do, we hear again, you know, it might have given me a response time that increased for a short period of time, but the self-mailer consistently outperformed what we were doing. So let me show a few examples of what some of those value-added features we find in the marketplace that are working right now and are very effective. Probably the hottest product that we make today that is highly sought after is a 14-inch product that it has a polyester window in it, a die cut with a polyester window. We produce this in rolls, 2 wide that go through inkjet machines. We also produce this 1 wide for laser and other inkjet equipment, but this is a 2 wide product that's compatible with continuous fed inkjet. And one of the beauties of it is that when it goes out in the mail stream and the recipient gets it, they see it, what appears to be a check inside. It's a faux check, but and it immediately grabs their attention and they get it opened. Upon getting it open, they see the message. Now the message, all the other items that we heard are very important, but this product has been performing very, very well for a long time, but it really has accelerated in the past 2 years. We're seeing lots of activity in the world of polyester windows and faux checks. Another product that has consistently been sought after is one with a specialty die cut. So on the back side of this piece, we have a special die cut that's been applied. These have also been tested by the OEMs for continuous and sheet fed inkjet, as well as laser, and they are compatible. But it's a nice interactive piece. And the clients, the people who get this mail, enjoy opening it. It's interactive, and they get to do something with it upon them opening it. And that includes responding to something. Just a nice informative piece that has made a difference. One of the challenges we often hear about Pressure Seal or self-mailers is there's just not enough real estate. There's not enough space to do your mailing. So we have come out with a product that is, and I have to scoot way back to show it, it's 24 inches long and it's 8.5 inches wide. Again, we're selling this traditionally in rolls for continuous inkjet. And when it's mailed, it's a 6-inch deep, and you can change the width. This one happened to be 8.5, but you can make it a big presence in the mailbox. And upon opening it, you get two individual 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, all nested together out of one self-mailer that has not required a outgoing envelope or a return envelope. And you can also do this with a return envelope. And this product has had a great deal of success within the last year. We have seen many different people pursuing this type of product because of the large amount of real estate, its high efficiency in getting in the mail. In the world of inkjet, it's sometimes challenging now to get an integrated card where the ink is sticking. So there are solutions out there today. This happens to be one. It's a product that has the die cuts and the glue already on it. And it's going to be applying 2 different plies of paper together. And upon doing that, when you remove it, you end up with a 14 or 15, we can even make it thicker, point ID card for the user. And that's also important. And we've regularly seen direct mail campaigns that have included ID cards. This is a product that works very well. It has a nice presence. It's thick. And people have sought after that product as well. Another product that we developed for the self-mailer perspective, and this one was also rolls, but it could be done in sheets as well. We started out with again, a very large piece, and it was blank, and the inkjet world is going to put on all the variable data. but when it goes in the mailbox, it's a very large piece. So it has a very, very big presence. This one happened to be, I believe it was 10.5 by 6. So it had a large presence in the mailbox. But upon opening it, what you ended up with was a 8-page booklet, all done off one sheet of paper, off the rotary, continuous fed inkjet or sheet fed inkjet. So there are lots of different type of value added solutions, which are very efficient and effective in getting the message out to the clients. But we have found and heard regularly that self mailers just get open because of the appearance and what they are in the mail stream. We could go on for hours with different constructions, but that's really beyond the scope of this presentation. It's really a question in my mind of what are we going to do different that's going to make a difference to our success as mailers and to our customer success, and in fact, impact the bottom line. We often hear when we go to these kind of conversations with mailers, but I already own an inserter. Why would I want to do a self mailer? And that's good. You all should own an inserter. Not everything is compatible with a self mailer, but if it can be mailed effectively as a self mailer with all the efficiency gains and the lower costs and the opening rates and the higher response rates, the question is, why wouldn't you try? For the right applications, self mailers are really a great opportunity for the mailing industry, and they really have drawn in higher response rates than the standard industry of a number 10 window envelope. So I believe these products makes a real difference in response rates. Cassandra?
Thank you, David. So that was the end of my questions. I'm going to bring everybody back up to the stream. And we had some registrant questions coming in, and I'm just going to leave it open to anyone to kind of jump on. The first one is from a registrant hearing that nationwide new mover data is down 5.9% year over year. They want to know, are we experiencing this as well, and how can we overcome this? Anybody want to take it?
I'd say I have seen new mover data has decreased. I don't know about 5.9% year over year. Some of it obviously has been impacted by the cost of houses, and definitely was affected by the pandemic. Things were really out of whack for a while, where beginning of the pandemic nobody moved. Suddenly there was 6 months and at 1 year you saw a ton of business moves come through. Then shortly after, it's like a bunch of individuals, and it kind of came back for a while. But yeah, in especially like the last 3 to 6 months, and compared to same period last year, overall move volume does seem to be down. So I think a lot of that is based on the housing market.
Okay. My other question, or a registrant question, let's see. They said they want to help can you help us understand the percentage cost breakdown of the cost for printing, paper, and postage? They're spending a lot of money on paper, and they want to know if the paper costs go down, will that influence brand owners to print more? Does anybody have anything to say about that? I'm trying to translate these questions, but
Cassandra, it's really a total package. She is correct at that. And paper certainly is an influencing factor, but as we already heard, postage is a bigger portion of it than paper, and postage is not the primary concern. The real issue needs to be focused on response rates. And as we heard, many of the products that we've already discussed really increase response rates, from the list management all the way down to the product itself that it's printed on. All of those have an impact, and it's not paper that is making the decision as much as response rates if it's measured properly.
Yeah, and I would say
Adam, go ahead.
With the increasing the response rates, and there's a lot more focus on the undeliverable mail because there's no value, and that's just complete waste. If you actually look at the cost and impact to the mailing industry of the undeliverable mail, it's like even if you could eliminate half of the current marketing mail that's undeliverable for a mailer, that would cover the increased postage rates for the next 2-3 years.
Right.
Adam, I totally agree to that. I talked about address suppression, and this also goes into your direction, Adam. We do projects where we do suppressing lots of addresses for a customer. And when we combine just only the savings for postage, what we charge for project is less than we save this customer in postage. So there are a lot of possibilities with new technologies, with new ideas, to help all these things move. And even with higher paper pricing, you're in a very good way if you do direct mail to your customers.
And I would add to that, I mean, there's also in addition to new technology, the USPS is making new data available. You're going to have more information about, again, address characteristics that you didn't have before. And so it can allow mailers to make even smarter decisions about whether to mail, what to mail, and even how to mail to particular addresses.
Yeah, the other questions were just asking about some of the new trends and technologies, but we kind of talked about that this whole time. So, so I'll wrap it up from here. I want to thank everyone for participating today. And for more on the topic, we have a July-August issue of DPS Magazine that will be posted pretty soon with a lot more information.